What is up, guys? It's Bang here, Gamertag the Hardpoint King, and this is a gameplay commentary on the map Raid. I actually dropped 17,000 score in this gameplay. It is a very exciting gameplay, I gotta say. But yeah, I just finished watching a NBA game, Golden State and San Antonio, and I gotta say I'm rooting for Golden State a lot because Golden State is just such an entertaining team to watch. I don't know if you guys follow basketball, but Stephen Curry is just truly amazing. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. Today, I am here to talk about the gameplay and how to get score. And you know, I get that question so often. How do you have such a high score per minute? How are you so dominant at multi-team? I do like to say I do have a 920 hardpoint score per minute, and I have never reset my stats. So I did play 6v6 hardpoint to get to master prestige, or at least to around 6 prestige, and I never did reset my stats. So it would be a lot higher if I did reset my stats. But you know what? I'm glad I didn't, because you know I wouldn't be ranked so high in the world if I did. So yeah, I'm going to be going over a lot in this gameplay. So sit back and watch the gameplay. And the first thing that you should know about getting score is having the right class. And in this gameplay, I'm using the Vector, which is an unstoppable submachine gun. After the patch of the MSMC and PDW, I feel the Vector is possibly the best weapon for submachine guns. It's just so dominant, especially from close range and even long range, because it actually has next to no recoil. It just absolutely melts people. It just destroys people. I'm using the laser sight and fast mag on it, and the fast mag obviously reloads faster. The laser sight, you can hip fire from like 20 meters away. It's just so good. The Vector is also so versatile, and you can jump shot so easily with it, and I do highly suggest using the Vector. And the perks that I use while I play multi-team hardpoint or even hardpoint are basically the same for every single class. I like to run hardline, which obviously gets kill streaks faster, which I always say score streaks faster, which is, you know, it's amazing because if you can get an orbital VSAT up, you know, in the first minute of the game, and you have a good team, chances are you'll be able to chain a bunch together. And that's what we actually do in most of my gameplays. We just chain VSATs together, we rock it out as a team, we have a good time. And so you definitely want to run hardline. Flak jacket, I do highly suggest, because it's hard point and people are going to be throwing explosives all over the hard point. You know, I have noobs all the time just throw bouncing betties as their first choice. Like, they'll see me and I'm on the hard point, they'll just throw a bouncing betty into the hard point. I mean, what are you doing? You know, but the bouncing betties kill me if I'm not running flak jacket. It's rage, I'm telling you. And if you're against a team of tryhards, chances are they're throwing C4. So flak jacket prevents all that jazz. You definitely want to run flak jacket if you don't want to rage, that is. If you want to rage, go ahead and not use it, but trust me, flak jacket is a must. For perks too, I always run scavenger right now. Back in the day I ran toughness. You know, lots of people feel that they have to run toughness. I feel toughness doesn't do too much. You know, I run scavenger because I want to get my streaks. You know, I want to go on long nuclear streaks. And I don't like to die personally, so I want to keep scavenging. I want to keep having ammo. I never want to run out of ammo, and that's the reason why I die. That's just, I don't want to do that, you know. I don't like that. And I don't want to pick up like an MP7, I don't know, MP7 target finder. I don't even know. I don't want to pick up random scrub weapons. But yeah, I definitely run scavenger. But that is personal preference. If you feel you need to run toughness, I suggest running toughness over scavenger. Or you can even have them both, but then you couldn't run flak jacket. So yeah, it's definitely your choice on that one, but I suggest running scavenger. For perk 3, I am running dexterity in this gameplay, and in a lot of my older gameplays I do run dexterity because I felt that I needed it. But after I started running tac mask, you know, right there, that guy just got absolutely destroyed by that shock charge. And that is the sole reason why I put tactical mask on, for shock charges. Because some enemies have like 2 shock charges and they just chuck it all over the place. You know, you just run by a wall and there's a shock charge sticking out. And the guy's got like a bouncing betty under it or something. And I'm sure it's happened to everybody. Where there's a shock charge on the ground and there's a bouncing betty under it. There's just so many people that do that. I think even like T Martin made a video on it back in the day. I mean, come on, man. Really? Bouncing betty, shock charge? Whatever. But if you want to avoid it, run flak jacket and tac mask, and you'll avoid it. So definitely run tac mask. But yeah, next thing I gotta say, you want to run score streaks, non-lethal. So what I mean by that, UAV, counter UAV, oral VSAT, and EMP. And because of that, you would, as I explained in my last commentary, Look at me just deke that guy out. As I explained in my last commentary, every time your teammates get a kill, you get 10 points while one of your score streaks is up. If you have all 3 up, then I mean you're getting 10 for each. So that's 30 points. So I highly suggest running UAV, counter UAV, and orbital VSAT. That's what I would suggest. If you have a full team of orbital VSATs, your whole team is just calling them in, you're just going to keep chaining them, and it's going to be like radar always on for you. And that's not the case for the other team, of course. Some classes. I actually have a few classes I wanted to tell you guys, because I get this question so often, what classes do you use, and I'm here to tell you. Obviously this Vector class is one of my most used, but my actual most used is my MSMC class, and that is with the same perks I explained. But the MSMC obviously has laser sight and fast mag. That's what I run on all SMGs. It's basically exactly the same as this class, but with an MSMC. And the MSMC is just so deadly. I find it has more damage than the Vector. I'm not sure if that's actually the case, but I feel the MSMC does kill faster. But since the recent patch, I mean the Vector has like no recoil and the MSMC does, so I do suggest using the MSMC. I do not suggest using the PDW just because after the recent patch it just completely destroyed the PDW. I don't even think the PDW is usable anymore. I can't stand the PDW. I really wish they didn't do it because it used to be my favorite weapon, but what can you do? The AN-94, my personal fave, my homie weapon, the weapon I use to get KD at least. I mean the AN-94, what can I say? It just does work. I compare it to the ACR in past games. It's just so good. It shoots straight. It has no recoil. You can straight around corners. And with ARs, you have to use stock. And stock is an absolute must for assault rifles. That is my opinion. Not for submachine guns, but for assault rifles, you need to use stock. Stock is just so good. If I'm in a competitive lobby, I will use red dot sight and AN-94, but I feel that fast mag does the trick if you're against a bunch of scrub randies. Personally, I suggest using fast mag and stock. Another one of my classes that I just started using because I've seen it in the competitive scene a lot is the M8A1. And if you have 4-bar all powerful, I mean, what can you say? It's just a one-shot kill, really. I can't even explain it. It's too good if you're 4-bar. If you have a head glitch, you can just melt people. But it kind of sucks close range, so I do suggest using like a Cap 40 or a B23R if you're gonna run the M8. Definitely have to use stock on the M8, and I think its reticle kind of sucks, so I use red dot sight. Red dot sight stock on the M8. It's a perfect combo. Does the trick. I do suggest using it. Those are my 4 main classes. The 4 classes I would always use. They're 4 amazing classes, and definitely try them out. If you don't like them, you don't have to use them, but I think they're great classes. So some future series ideas that I have in mind are the pistol nuclear series. I'm thinking of getting like a pistol nuclear with basically every pistol, I guess you could say. And I'm gonna try and get as many double nuclears as I can because I find those are entertaining. But I also want to get gameplays like these, where it's not like I'm sitting next to the hardpoint cheesing it, but I'm running around, getting kills and caps at the same time. I feel those are the most entertaining gameplays, and the gameplays that I enjoy the most. So I don't know. That's what I'm trying to do. Those are definitely some series that I have in mind. And one last trick here. I do use C4 on every class. That is something that I love to use just because you get so many double kills on the hardpoint. And if you're against a bunch of guys with no flak jacket and you have an orbital VSAT the whole time, you can just throw C4 around the corner. I mean, C4 is just absolutely unbelievable. I do highly suggest using C4. It's just so good, honestly. I'm just so addicted to C4. It's unreal because it's just so fun. It keeps the game fresh. And as a tactical, I like to run EMP grenade because not only does it blind the enemy radar, but it takes out guardians, it takes out sentries, it gets more score, it gets you more points, it helps your team out. And please, if you've ever played me in a multi-team hardpoint lobby, don't use it because I don't like it. If it's used against you, I can't stand that. No, I'm just kidding, but I don't like it, to be honest. If it's used against you, it's just so annoying. I'm just gonna put it that way. But if you use it, it's just absolutely dominant. So yeah, that's basically what you got to do. You definitely got to get hardpoint caps to get 200 points. Definitely milk the hardpoint as much as you can. By milking, I mean letting the enemies onto the hardpoint to get 200 points every single time. So a little technique is getting the hardpoint cap, getting off the hardpoint, and getting the cap again. If you do all those tips I taught you guys today, I'm sure your stats will go up. I hope you guys enjoyed this commentary today. And guys, peace out and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys later.